to our spring band concert. This is an awesome turnout. We're so glad you're all here. This stage full of kids who have the jitters a little bit is the 6th grade band. They have had a fantastic year, and if you're a 6th grade band parent, I hope you've heard the difference from day one because it's pretty substantial, and we're excited for you to hear them today. I want to just thank a couple people before we start. First, our Swain County Schools Administration for just allowing us to do this every day. That's pretty awesome. And that includes our county office administration, but both of our principals, Mr. Sutton and Mr. Kerr, who both have daughters on the stage today. And that just speaks wonders that they support this group and the arts. I want to thank Ms. Kathy Cook, our secretary at the middle school, because she works tirelessly to make my life easy. And so if you go in the office and you see Ms. Kathy, please stay with her because her job is not easy. I want to thank Ms. Lackey. She's up in the booth up there. She maintains this marvelous facility, the Arts Center, and we are so fortunate to not have to perform in a gym or a cafeteria. We have this great auditorium. So thank you, Ms. Lackey, for letting us use this. Ms. Williams is somewhere around here, Ms. Karen Williams. She is a constant source of support, always asking, what do you need? And I couldn't ask for somebody better to work with. But most importantly, I need to thank everyone that's in the audience right now, because your family, your friends, the next door neighbor that one of these kids asked to come to the concert. I want to thank you for being here and showing your support, because that means more to me and to these guys on stage than I think you'll ever know. So, all you kids down here, thank the audience, please. So if you would, real quick, please turn off your phones, at least turn the ringer off. I know you don't want to take pictures, but if it goes off in the middle, it's really distracting. We want to be sure that they can stay focused through this. The first song you're going to hear is called American Spirit March. Woo! Our next piece is pretty exciting. It's upbeat, if you can tell by the name. It's called Turbo Rock. This piece really features our percussion section back in the back. They're kind of emulating a drum set. We don't really start drum set in 6th grade, but you're going to hear kind of a drum set beat happening back there. And then the low brass gets to come in with an awesome rock melody. So it features the whole band, and you get to hear the different sections individually a little bit more. So this is Turbo Rock. recognize one or two members of each grade for just kind of going above and beyond. On stage, this was one of the hardest decisions I had to make because these kids are awesome. They have grown so much just in this past year, and I hope you hear the difference. They're doing phenomenally. But there's a couple of standouts in each class, and I narrowed it down to one. So in our first class, this guy, I'm pretty sure he's knocked the top out of every playing test. He comes in, and I never have to call him down. He's always working hard. He knows his music, and he can't ask for more in a student. So our first class outstanding band student is Max Wilmer. So our second student in our second class, we have two sixth grade band classes. This lady has come in, and again, she knocks the top off of everything. She's interested in marching band, both of them are, and they've just done a great job. This lady has knocked every playing test out of the park, and she's just grown, and she wants to get better, which is the best part. So in our second class, our outstanding band student is Miss Anastasia Bynum. So our last piece is called the Mind of Hercules, and you're supposed to hear in it a kind of Hercules through it. You can imagine the movie if you want to, but you're going to hear a driving percussion part. You're going to hear some really loud, bombastic sounds, and the goal is to emulate the sound Hercules would make. So this is the Mind of Hercules. Woo! So this is the 7th grade band. The first piece was entitled Union March by Mikhail Rogers. Fun little piece just to get the concert started. It was really a chance to feature our French horn and our alto saxophone. They did an awesome job on that. I want to recognize a few people in this band just right off. If you auditioned for All District Band, please stand up. So All District Band, you guys can see it. All District Band is where these guys have to prepare a solo, they have to prepare sight reading, which is a piece they've never seen before. They have to go and read it, which is terrifying. They have to prepare some scales. And as a 7th grader, to go in and do that, they've only been playing at the time they auditioned a year and a half, is incredible. So kudos to you guys for auditioning, and that just gives them that much more of a chance to be in the band next year. We had some participants in this band in the Far West Honors Band. That is the counties from pretty much Swain County West. So those people are Corey Wolf, Timothy McKinnell, Cloud Hill, Tyler Bennett, Wyatt Potts, J.C. Carson, and Erilyn Ely. Give them a big hand. So those guys, they'll have a little medal they get. It'll just be easier, so be sure to get that before you leave. Next up, we have a piece called Cherokee Morning. This piece is based off a traditional Cherokee song called the Morning Song. It is sung in the morning, and it has a spiritual meaning. The cool part of this piece is that these guys got to look into music that is right here in our backyard. And it's something that gets overlooked a whole lot. So they've had a great time working on it. It is a challenging piece. There's a lot of layers of stuff going on. So this is Cherokee Morning. welcome to the stage. I said a little bit about this a minute ago, but I need to reiterate it. Miss Karen Williams Landon is the absolute best person to work with. She's a phenomenal educator, and quite honestly, she's the reason I'm on this stage today. Very few middle school directors have the support I do, and for that, I am forever grateful. So please welcome to the stage Miss Karen Williams Landon to conduct hand clap. First and foremost, all marching band members that are in 7th grade, please stand up. All marching band. Give them a big hand, please. They came fresh out of 6th grade and really did awesome this year. We put music in front of them that probably scared them a little bit, but they rose to the occasion, and that was awesome. We have an outstanding student in 7th grade as well. This guy literally is in the band room every time it's unlocked. I'll go home from school, and I leave about 5 o'clock, and I'll hear him down in the breezeway practicing his French horn because he is just that dedicated. So our outstanding 7th grade student is Wyatt Clark. So our last piece is called Ghosts in the Graveyard. This piece was actually written for a group of PE coaches at a school called Parkland High School up in Pennsylvania. This piece has a lot of, it's supposed to kind of be spooky, emulate ghosts in a graveyard. You're going to see some random percussion instruments inside the band, because if you notice our percussion section isn't huge. So it gave wind players a chance to have a little bit of fun. So this is Ghosts in the Graveyard. Woo! thing we tried to do this year. They came to me and said, hey, we need to do clubs. And I said, you want to do jazz band? And so a couple people put in for that, and a couple people's turned into all these kids on stage. This is completely really after school. There's a couple times we met in school, but these guys have stayed after school, not every day, every Tuesday for a long time. And they put it together. It's going to be a pretty impressive feat. I'm not going to talk in between these because they're pretty good, and I just want to give you a chance to listen. In our first song, called Tango for Jam Jam, there are two soloists that I want to recognize. The first one is Tyler Bennett on trumpet, and the second is Emily Wilkie on saxophone. And the second tune is from the Jungle Book. You'll recognize it. It's the Baroness Esther. So this is the jazz band. there's a lot of moving parts tonight. Our first piece is called Storm Surge. It's supposed to, some of you have heard it at a pre-MPA concert. It's supposed to represent the surge that comes with the storm. So it's got some really intense moments. It's going to start out very bombastic, but it also is going to show some peace and some tranquility that can come with water as well. So it's going to give you all those emotions. So this is Storm Surge. Good attack. So our first one are going to be some marching band awards. So if you're a marching band, please stand up. So a lot of these guys, this is even their second year marching, which is pretty cool, just being 8th graders, and it's their second year. We have a couple awards for marching band. The first one is for someone who goes above and beyond just helping. We never says no, always carrying equipment. I said, hey Taylor, go load the bus. And Taylor goes and loads the bus. Because that's the kind of person he is. So our volunteer award goes to Mr. Taylor Ball. Our next one actually goes to a member of the band, but she got into band because she joined Color Guard. Sam Birchfield. Get our Outstanding New Marcher Award. I asked Sherry today, she couldn't be here, it's her birthday, but I asked Sherry today if she wanted me to say anything. She just wanted me to say how hard Sam works and that she's dedicated and that she never says she can't. It's always, I'll go home and work on it, or I'll do my best to get better. So Sam Birchfield gets the Outstanding New Marcher Award. Our next piece will be very recognizable. It's the theme from The Incredibles. So we're going to recognize a few more people. You heard this a second ago with 7th grade band, but the 8th grade band also participates in all district and Far West Arm Band. So the following people, and I'm going to do the 7th grade band, I'm sorry for the people I didn't. The following people, please stand up. Emma Carver, Shelby Smith, Morgan Hunley, Matthew Gray, Jay Rattler, Austin Paredes, and Erica Wachacha. These are our participants in the Far West Arm Band. We should get it before you leave. Can now everybody that auditioned for all district, please stand up. Out of the people that just stood up, I'm not going to make them stand up again because we're not going to do that. But the all district participants that made the band this year were Emma Carver, Shelby Smith, Morgan Hunley, Matthew Gray, and Jade Rattler. Give them a big round of applause. You guys also have medals, so we should get it before you leave. We do have one big one this year. Morgan Hunley worked his butt off. He tries to convince me that he never practices, but I don't believe it. But Morgan Hunley practiced really hard. He made 3rd chair at all district and said, I can do better than that. So he went to all state, beat every person from Western North Carolina, and placed 5th chair in the state. So let's give it up for Morgan Hunley. So our next piece is called The Tears of Arizona. It's about the USS Arizona that sunk at Pearl Harbor. This is one of our NBA pieces. Let me tell you, this group on stage can flat out play. They went to NBA this year, and middle school's hard because you don't know what's going on in their brains any day anyway. And I'm asking them to focus and to listen to pitches that are this close and say, we need to make those in tune. And they did a fantastic job. So this was one of our MPA pieces this year. They were as close as you can get to getting a superior without getting one. So we want to show off with this one, and it's Tears of the Arizona. feel what I feel up here. Because I'm immensely proud of this group. The amount of focus and skill that takes and the hard work they put in, I hope it shows, and I hope you appreciate that, because that was phenomenal. So give them another hand for that, please. So a couple more awards left. The first one is we always pick one percussionist in the middle school to recognize as an outstanding percussionist. And this one was hard. It was really hard because we have a lot of percussionists and a lot of good ones. But one stood out. She joined in 7th grade, and she said, "I can't really read music, but I kind of play piano, and I want to get good." And she's done that. And you saw her on piano and jazz band. You saw her on vibes and that. You see her on bells all night. So our outstanding middle school percussion award goes to Miss Grace Schuler. Our outstanding 8th grade student. This one is again hard because there's so much talent on the stage, but we have one that went to All-State, and that's just a monumental feat. So our outstanding 8th grade student goes to Mr. Morgan Hunter. And we have one more marching band award. This one is another one from our color guard. This person cleans the guard room tirelessly, and she always wants to put her best out there. She never says no. She stays late. She comes early. So our second volunteer award goes to Miss Bianca Fairman. Before we play our last piece, I just want to reiterate how proud I am of this group, even the ones that are talking on the back row right now. I want to reiterate how proud I am of this group and how much they've grown and how much they've learned. I've learned from them, and I hope they've learned a couple things from me. You guys are phenomenal. You've done amazing things this year. I came in after Miss Williams, and that's a hard act to follow. It was big shoes to fill, and I didn't quite fill them, but I hope you're not too disappointed. And thank you for working with me all this time. So our last piece is called Brave Spirit. This piece is based on a novel called A Chinese Cinderella. So it's a fun piece because they got to introduce kind of some actual literature to them, and they got to get a sneak peek into a different culture, what it was like during the World War on a different continent. So this last piece, and after this we will be done and good to go, is called Brave Spirit. So we hope you enjoy it.
Oh.